Hello, Pokemon trainers, and welcome to the King's Court. Okay, so I missed last week's. I goofed. Some stuff came up, and a bunch of scheduling issues happened, and yada yada yada. Anyways, I'm here now. So this is part 53 of the Path to Power series. It's basically where I try to climb the online Pokemon Scarlet and Violet VGC ladder. I basically accumulate minimum three, although I'm really considering bumping that up to five, but I'll worry about that for another day. Three online matches, and I go over them in a commentary style to point out the moves I made, the mistakes I done, that's something what I would probably do differently next time, and overall, this way I can also improve my own skills. So, I'm still rocking the Giratina team because yeah, Giratina is my favorite Pokemon. Okay, Giratina right here. What I did was before I was recording, I was doing some practice games. Oh my god, I freaking hate Encore Whimsicott. It is so annoying. It's because every time it's smart on my opponent's side, don't get me wrong, where they see me use fake outs, so they encore the fake outs. So it is good. It does make sense, but for my own sake, this is why I decided, you know what? I'm not playing. I'm going straight for the Whimsicott. I am knocking that thing out now. So I switch out I managed to get a knockout. Because usually with this team, I like to set up a combine with my Giratina, but I just wanted to knock that thing out quickly. So, speaking of which, they're going after my Rillaboom right here, which is fine because I'm going to go for a Draco and it knocks out. Alright, because man, I have a bad history with Draco Meteor because I don't know why. It seems like every time I use it lately, it misses, but it actually managed to. It wanted to work this time, so that's good for me. So my opponent sends out the recently distributed shiny Chiampao, which is pretty cool looking, not gonna lie. So let's see. My opponent has Chiampao and Incineroar, and I have my Giratina and Rillaboom out. So I'm gonna go for a fake out this, and they're gonna go for the Ice Spinner. I didn't terrestrialize here because I already terrestrialized earlier with my Incineroar because what I did was I had a feeling they're going to fake out, and obviously fake out doesn't hurt ghost types, so that's why I terrestrialized into ghost. That way, fake out would do nothing, so basically they wasted their Incineroar's fake out, and that's how I just got the Draco Meteor off on the Landorus. So let's see. Okay, so I'm going to withdraw Rillaboom, and I'm going to go out to back out into my Incineroar. Okay, let's see. So the Intimidate will go off, and both Chiampao and Incineroar are physical attackers, so that will help, but sadly, it's still not enough to save Giratina. But Giratina knocked out the Landorus, so I'm happy with that. And unfortunately, the knockoff will get rid of my Citrus Berry, but the Tailwind is gone, so everything speed is back to normal. Okay, so I'm gonna send out my Urshifu. So I'm just gonna go for a Surging Strike and go for a Fake Out on the Incineroar. Because I was thinking either the Champao is going to Sucker Punch, and if it Sucker Punches, fine, I'll lose my Incineroar, but if it does it to my Urshifu, it should withstand, it should survive because, dark and fighting. But they're going to Terrestrialize instead. Plus, I was hoping with that Intimidate actually going off, maybe it won't knock out. So yeah, Fake Out right here. And you go for Sacred Sword instead. And Surging Strike to get rid of it. Alright, sweet. So that's three Pokemon down so far. So they just have their gym out left. So this is pretty much GG right here. Let's see. So I'm just gonna go for the Aqua Jet and just go for go for like a Flare Blitz. I knew the Aqua Jet would take care of it because Chimpao can hit hard, but man, its defenses are terrible. But makes sense. So that was game one right there. I think what I would have done differently, maybe I should have switched out my Giratina into Incineroar instead. But yeah, I still got the dub, so not much else I can really I can't really complain about that. So my opponent's gonna start with Incineroar as well and Indene. So Intimidate will go off and Indene's ability goes off. So Fake Out and other priority moves are off the table. So from my experience when playing against this Pokemon, right away I think, okay, just knock it out. So I'm just gonna go for the knockoff in Indene, and I'm just gonna go for a Draco Meteor on the Incineroar just because I want to knock. And there it goes once again, every time. Oh man. Oh well. So the Incineroar is going to use Parasong to pivot out into. Let's see. They're going to pivot out into. I can't. Okay. Lunala. Okay. This could be good because Lunala is quad weak against Dark and Ghost. And Trick Room's going to go off. That might work in my favor because I'm pretty sure Giratina's slower than Lunala. Pretty sure. My Giratina's modest nature because I want the calm. It's more meant to be bulky with calm mind. I'm pretty sure Lunala's usually run timid. I think. I think they run modest too because I think they're pretty bulky as well. I don't know. I like Lunala actually. So I'm gonna terrestrialize here. Let me know in the comments if you prefer Lunala or Solgaleo. I'm gonna terrestrialize to normal. This right here is one of the reasons why I run this. So they're gonna use Helping Hand. Now normally I'd be nervous because a Moonlight Beam would knock out pretty much anything right here. Knockoff will go off, and yeah, okay. So Giratina is slower, so because of Trick Room, I get to hit first. And Moonlight Beam does nothing because I terrestrialize into normal. This is why I run normal terrestrialization on Giratina because Moonlight Beam plus Astral Barrage from Calyrax won't do anything. And they're going to go for the Follow Me. Okay, I was going to do that anyways. Knock off. And one Shadow Ball should take care of this. Yep, and we got the knockout. Sweet. Shiny Lunala looks cool. Looks like a vampire or something. That's really cool. Let's see. So that's two Pokemon down. So they still have their Incineroar and a fourth Pokemon. I don't know what it is, and it's Calyrax, Ice Boy. Okay, I gotta be careful how I do this. Normally, I would have my Zamazenta to use to deal with Calyrax, but okay, I did bring my Zamazenta. Never mind. Okay, so I got to figure out how I'm gonna do this right. So I'm just gonna go for a parting shot, and I could go for a Calm Mind, or I could try to go for offense to try to do some damage on that Calyrax because that thing is bulky, slow but bulky, which makes sense because they set up the Trick Room. So we're gonna protect. I'm also gonna protect too. And I'm going to try to use Parting Shot, but they protected. I should have picked the Incineroar. And, okay, so they tried to knock off my Giratina, so Protect saved me, so okay. So, obviously, Protect, you can technically use it twice in a row, but the likelihood of it failing is, like, really high for if you try to use it to, like, a second time in a row. So, I'm thinking I could just go for the offense, and they're going to transfer into Pure Ice. Okay, so they removed the psychic weakness. That could be a problem. And they tried to fake out. Huh. Yeah. Glacial Lance will go off. If I didn't terrestrialize Giratina, that would have been a knockout, because, Ice beats Dragon. Shadow Ball will go off, and doesn't do as much, sadly. But the Dimensions went to normal, at least, so the Trick Room wore off, and so did Indene's Psychic Terrain, so, okay. Now we're on equal playing fields, and Fake Out's back on too. Okay, let's see. Someone's going to protect again. And they're going to go for a parting shot on my Incineroar, which is probably what I should have done earlier. But, well, I do it right here, actually. But luckily for me, since they only have two Pokemon left, I still have two others, so this actually, I can just pivot out. And now I'm going to be able to go into Zamazenta, and I can use Wide Guard if they try to Glacier Lance me again. Zamazenta is definitely the counter I'm really liking to deal with Calyrax, because Astral Barrage and Glacier Lance and Miraidon's, how it runs like Dazzling Gleam and Discharge, those are no jokes, so I got to be careful. So Wide Guard Zamazenta has really been helping. So a Body Press should take care of the Incineroar. So we'll go for Body Press. Yep, and it knocks out. Nice. And I'm going to go, and Giratina will go for a Draco Meteor. And it knocks out. It was a crit. All right. I don't know. Yeah, I think the crit mattered. But if I remember right, the Ice Calyrax special defense isn't as high as its physical. So I'll take that. All right. So that's game 2. Now we're on to game 3. And my opponent's going to start off with Miraidon and Incineroar. Now I'm going to go with Giratina and Incineroar. Okay, so I gotta be careful. So I'm thinking to myself, I want to knock out that Miraidon. I want to get rid of that thing now. Because if Miraidon can easily be a wall breaker, if you don't get rid of it quickly, it could be a problem later down the line if all your other Pokemon have already taken like a lot of damage. So I'm gonna terrestrialize right here. Okay, this is what I meant. I terrestrialize into Ghost because if you see Incineroar, they're usually going to try to fake out. Same goes for Liboom. So obviously it does nothing. So I'm going to get to fake out their Miraidon, and now Draco Meteor will go off. And all right, instant one hit knockout. All right, man, that's like three consecutive KOs Giratina's gotten with Draco Meteor in this video. The Landorus, the Calyrex, and now the Miraidon. Sweet. Okay, so to send out their Urshifu, so and they haven't terrestrialized yet, so I gotta be careful in case they do that. So I gotta play a little like I gotta be careful. So they're gonna use their terrestrialization. They're gonna go into their Urshifu to make it. Oh, okay. So this could be interesting. So they're gonna go for the Surging Strike. And they're going to go after my Incineroar. Thank goodness I terrestrialized Incineroar this game. And it doesn't knock out. Citrus Berry will go off. Thank goodness. Okay, so... And I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball. Mainly because I just want to get rid of this thing now. And alright, got the special defense drop. Nice. And then I just get the knockoff. But I'm going to go for the parting shot. So this way the Urshifu won't hit as hard. Because close combat Urshifu is no joke, especially when it can go through Protect. So I have my own Urshifu and my Zamazenta. So I'm going to go into my Urshifu. So I'm just going to detect first and basically hope they're not going to try to hit my Urshifu. Because, you know, that's one of the things that makes Urshifu so damn good. It can go through detect and protect. So I'm going to detect here and hope it doesn't go after my Urshifu. And that way I can just have Giratina trying to knock out theirs. Let's see. Okay, so they go into Ho-Oh. Interesting. Basically, I'm thinking, okay, one Draco and it should knock out. And, okay, close combat doesn't knock out. Sweet. Okay, combined with the special defense drop and now that, yep, one Shadow Ball does take care of it. Alright, sweet. Okay, because I was actually a little worried that Shadow Ball wouldn't have been enough, but because I didn't get a Calm Mind set, but hey, it knocked out. Sweet, we'll take those. So they're going to go out to their Incineroar, which will lower my Urshifu's attack. So I'm thinking maybe I could just switch out now, and I do. And I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball on the Ho-Oh. So I'm going to send out my Zamazenta, and they're going to fake out. Okay, so that actually is fine right there. And they're going to set up Tailwind. I know Ho-Oh can be pretty bulky, so if I had to guess, it's probably built to set up Tailwind and probably use Sacred Fire to burn their opponents. Or Will-O-Wisp, either one. So, that's basically my idea right there. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, ironic this is the day if any fans in the U.S. are watching this. I recorded these around Thanksgiving time, so it's kind of ironic. I had to take care of a big bird around Thanksgiving. Happy late Thanksgiving. So I'm going to go for the Body Press and Calm Mind right here. Okay, I'm going to have to set up a bunch of these because I know Ho-Oh and Lugia are like super bulky. Let's see. Unfortunately, my Zamazenta is burnt. And that will affect the Body Press. If my Zamazenta wasn't burnt, I'm pretty sure that would have knocked out the Incineroar. But, oh well, what can you do? So, luckily, even if it does burn my Giratina, fire won't do much to Giratina because, you know, fire dragons. So, that's good right there. I'm going to go for another knockoff of my Giratina. I'm just going to go for the Draco. And it knocks out. Sweet. So, they're going to keep gaining HP back because they're leftovers. Basically, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? They haven't. Fire can't really do anything to Giratina, so I'm just going to try to set up Calm Minds and just keep using Zamazenta till either the Ho-Oh or the Burn takes it out, and it'll be the Ho-Oh first. Okay, so I'm able to get a free Calm Mind. So let's see. And the Tailwind is gone. So I didn't know I still had my Incineroar. Actually, I thought it got knocked out. So I'm going to send Incineroar out because Sacred Fire, weirdly enough, if I remember right, is a physical move. Like, if I remember right, Ho-Oh is actually a physical attacker because I think it also can run Brave Bird. So I'm just going to use Fake Out first to set up another free Calm Mind. Two Calm Minds, right, set up. That's really good. But I did use Draco Meteor earlier, so that kind of more makes it just one. So, hey, better than nothing. So I'm just going to go for the knockoff to get rid of that leftovers. And since they don't have any Pokemon left, I don't have to worry about leftovers anymore. A burnt Incineroar. Never thought I'd see that. And Draco sadly only does like a quarter. But the knockoff does go off and gets rid of the leftovers. Alright, so that's good. Okay, let's see. So I'm thinking just go for another. They're gonna use Life Dew. Shoot, I forgot about Life Dew. So I gotta hurry up and knock this thing out quickly. Okay, so if I don't do something like one hit, like one surging strike from my Urshifu should easily take care of it. Let's see. I'm just gonna try to set up another Calm Mind. I'm thinking I could just go for a parting shot. Yeah, I could use the knockoff, but I know that Incineroar is going to be knocked out soon. So I'm just going to go for a parting shot. This will lower its attack even more. Not like I have to really worry about Sacred Fire right now. Okay, and Giratina got burned. That could be a problem. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm just going to go for the parting shot, which will lower the attack of the Ho-Oh even more, which is good. But now I'm able to switch out and pivot into my Urshifu. So I was a little nervous because again I'm pretty sure Ho-Oh's run Brave Bird. It has so far I've seen Life Dew, Sacred Fire, and Tailwind. So I was thinking if it Braves Bird, I'm screwed. But luckily my Urshifu outsped it. So all right, sweet. It didn't even matter. Oh boy, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh man. So that was game three. That last one was nuts. Ho-Oh is, I think, kind of slept on. I think Ho-Oh is pretty good. I mean, I really like Ho-Oh. It was definitely my favorite between Ho-Oh and Lugia. Let me know in the comments your favorite of those two, as well as who was your favorite, Solgaleo or Lunala. I like Lunala and Ho-Oh, but let me know your picks in the comments. Let me know what you thought of these games. If you have any suggestions for any teams you want me to try out here, especially ones that can utilize Giratina, I'd love to try them out. So that's pretty much everything. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.